This is part 2 to My Mother and I's. My Mother and I? Me and my mother's.
No,
Is it my mother?
I to my.
Welcome back to our reaction. The reaction with me and my mother. This is part 2. So if you haven't seen part 1, you should go watch that first. And we're just gonna get into it. So, this song is by a Korean rapper. His name is Loco. And then a K-pop. She's in a K-pop girl group. Her name is Hwasa.
Oh, so we have a little duet going on.
Yes, a little duet action.
Yes. Right.
So this is actually one of my favorite songs.
I think I already like the beats. I think so.
And they were on a TV show about like how they came up with the song and all this. Like it was really, I love it.
Okay.
She's actually one of my favorite female K-pop artists.
Cool.
I love her voice.
I'm sorry.
She got some good posture.
She does. I saw her back all straight. I was like,
술은 절대 주지 마 헛소리하고 악마의 춤을 출 거니까 마치 밖에 시원한 바람이 불지만 세상이 너무 험해서 널 내 옆에만 둘 거니까 남자는 전부 똑같대 아니 술 마신 남잔 다 똑같아 너 말고는 아무것도 안 보인다는 건 네가 아닌 다른 것들은 다 잊고 있는 거야 그러니까 내게 술을 주지 마 맨정신에도 충분히 외로우니까 가위질을 하기는 내버려 두지 마 사랑 찍고 본능 알기 전에 너부터 먼저 알고 싶으니까 야 이성적이고 싶어 이게 나의 값이 나는데 싸게 주고 싶어 굳이 움직이지 않아도 돼 내가 하는 말이 수작이 되지 않아 기분 좋게 우리 몰잔
He's the producer in the back.
wow. You better insert.
Just like Tyler Perry. He said, "This is my song."
Insert him in them.
Look, DJ
the
Khaled. This is my song.
This is actually my song. Except you just
got the words.
He's in the background though. DJ Khaled is
Be all
always
up over here.
correct. So are they a real popular?
So Korean hip hop in general, it's becoming more mainstream, but it's still pretty like underground.
Okay.
So it's not like mainstream. Like you're not gonna see it like being promoted as much as K-pop.
Well, not even. Okay.
So
not
like
as promoted as K-pop. Okay.
So like this song here is not gonna be like at the top of the K-pop charts
Okay.
anywhere because it's just one, it's just, oh God, it's so much to explain. So in Korea, there are 3 top companies that, you know, manage artists or like put groups together.
Okay.
SMYG and there's another one, JYP. So like SM being I think the biggest. So those three companies in general, when they put out a group, it's kind of like they automatically become popular and they automatically become big just because there's still like this whole hierarchy thing in Korea where if you've got the money and the power.
Oh, of course.
It's, you know, so like a lot of times when songs get to the top of the charts or like they have these things called music shows, so if they win on a music show, is normally going to be the group that's from one of these 3 companies, just because in Korea it's kind of like a bias thing. Like a lot of times they don't vote on the songs or place the songs based on how good the song is. Just like, oh, they're from SM, so I'm gonna vote for them, or they're from, you know, YG, so I'm gonna vote for them. Like I love YG, my favorite groups are part YG, so I'm just gonna vote for them every single time. Even if you really like another song, got them. So that's the big thing. And so with BTS is like really just like taking over just everything. So like they started as like a really, really small company and it's just BTS. That was their only group. And they started like in somebody's garage. And so now BTS is like, I see like a couple of charts every now and then that pop up on Instagram talking about like they're worth more than like all 3 of these companies combined right now.
Really?
And the company just released their second group, where these other companies have had like, these other companies have been doing it for a long time, so they've had like groups and groups and groups and groups. But BTS is like really, is that? Okay. So yeah, they're really taking over. So that's the whole thing, too. So, but back to this, no, they're not like super popular. Like the group she's in, her group's called Mamamoo. They're a pretty popular female girl group, but again, they don't come from one of those 3 companies.
Got you.
So they're not like huge.
Right.
But they're popular, yeah.
So if we had to put them in, like, if we had to give them a grade, like you have your A-list actors, your B-list actors.
So I mean, probably B-list.
B-list, okay.
Because the top 3 companies, they're your
A-list, and then of course everybody else falls
and
under.
So then from there you kind of like, and there's some groups that come out, they never really like
take off.
Yeah, like they have fan bases, but like not big fan bases. So those would be like your C, D list.
I got you. Okay, so, that's cool.
Do you wanna?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just gonna pause real quick. Okay.
This is on?
Yes.
Now. Oh, I was scratching my head. Sorry guys, y'all know how to do for braids. Don't do that.
We're back. We just had to do something real quick. But I was telling my mom that it was funny that we were just talking about the 3 big companies in Korea, and I didn't plan this, but the next 3 songs are from the 3 big companies in Korea, so that's what we were talking about. So this song is by a group called GOT7. They're probably one of the biggest groups under this company.
Right.
And this song's called Teenager.
Posture, like the other lady in the video. Excuse me.
Okay. This is actually, for a long time, this was like my favorite K-pop song. It's still one of my favorites.
Okay.
This is getting more into like mainstream K-pop.
Yes. How many people in this group out?
7.
I'm going to ask you a question after this.
Okay. leader of the group.
Oh, okay.
They have leaders in K-pop.
Okay. Almost like the captain of a team.
That's exactly what. That's GOT7. You told me to remind you to ask me a question.
Guys, we turned almost 40. This is what happens. I'm 39, but when you get almost 40, question.
You said it around the beginning.
I know, and it has to do with goodness gracious.
How many? Because you asked after you asked me how many people were in this group. I said 7.
Oh yes, thank you. So do we have, or do you know if we have any of the popular boy bands? How many were in the group? Like the most that's been. So if you think
the most that they've ever had
in one group.
Right now, there's a really popular group under the biggest label. They're called NCT. So they're called NCT, and the most that they have right now is 18. So they have like this whole concept that they came up with for them. So what happens is they haven't always been 18. They started out as maybe 12 or 15, and they grew. So their whole thing is they're a never-ending group. So apparently they're going to continue to add members, but members are also going to cycle out, and they also have subgroups. So they have a subgroup called NCT Dream, which is all of the younger members, all the ones who aren't legal yet, so 18 and under. That's NCT Dream. So they make like
a board meeting. I'm sorry.
I know, because K-pop there's a lot. This took me a long time to learn.
But do we have any American groups that have like members? Not this many members, right?
No.
Right.
I can't even. I think NSYNC only had 5 or 6.
I want to say 6. And you NSYNC fans, do not quote me on that.
I have an NSYNC
I'm
shirt.
sorry.
I think it's
5 or 6. Okay. Because I don't know them as. I mean, I know their songs, but I don't really know.
But yeah, so the whole NCT thing, like they have subgroups, and so like they're going to continue to make.
Okay.
They're going to continue to recruit more members and make more subgroups. So like there's like this whole big entity.
So the reason I even ask is because when I think about the group, it's hard to compare. I don't want to compare them to a group. It's like, but they only have 3 members. But I just think the vibe is what I'm talking about. So when I compare them groups, I'm just really thinking about the vibe. And again, this is like a B2K vibe to me.
Last night, I'm the biz with the 20s that you wanna drive. I'm the buggy life that'll treat you right. Got your hood cause I'm bringing everything you like.
Maybe I'm wrong, and that's okay. But when I think about the types of vibes, and I say that to say that the very first song we listened to, and the third song I want to say that we listened to, because I think the last song was the girl group, and the middle song was the couple.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so when I think about the other 2 boy groups that performed, male groups that performed, I don't know if you sat me down and said, Shamika, which one is Hocus Pocus? And I would have listened to it. Now, I probably, obviously, if you didn't give me the hook,
right?
Obviously, because they say the hook. But if you were just to give me the verses of those songs, I'd be like, so 2? I don't know. I mean, just because they still all sound the same, but they are different groups.
Yeah.
And I mean, So I know a lot of people say that hip hop groups sound the same and some rap groups, sound the same or whatever, but low key, this is really like I can't distinguish.
I think what it is though, I think we established like a sense of bias to like the songs and the people that we we like and that we relate to the most or like listen to the most.
Right.
Because I felt, like I said, I felt the same way when I first got into K-pop.
Right.
And people like it's because it's so new. First of all, and plus the language is different, so you can't really determine what they're saying exactly. So on that end, it sounds the same. Because it's just like I don't understand what they're saying.
Right.
But yeah, I think it just like I feel like if I were to continue doing this with you for like maybe let's say 6 months to a year.
Okay.
And we came back same time next year, you might have a different opinion.
Okay, because I know I keep saying almost. I don't want it to be, repetitive. Like, she said that.
She keeps saying this all the time.
Oh my gosh!
Because let me tell you something. K-pop fans can be intense, so they gonna come and I'm telling your mom that the songs don't all sound the same, please.
And to all those K-pop fans, they probably don't. I mean, this is just me listening to these songs for the first time, so don't be offended. I'm just trying to find that niche between each group. So each group has a niche, whether it's a vocal niche or if it's like a beat or something. But typically, each group you can kind of determine they have a real heavy bass person on there, whatever the case might be. But still trying to find my niche, guys.
And
don't be offended. Don't be putting no negative comments on my baby's page.
And I also feel like for me, that's why I like BTS so much. One, because they were like the first group that I got into when I got into K-pop, and also when they come out with songs, their songs are so different, and like they can change up so well. And a lot of K-pop boy groups can, but there are some that stick to what they know and like only do that, which can be good, but can sometimes be like, all right, dude.
But BTS has levels to their group. Right? Like, they have, like... So, BTS is not the same 7 people.
No,
BTS is...
a different 7 people. They're a different group.
No. I'm saying, when we talk about BTS, I'm just saying, when we're talking about the group BTS, that's the same group. Like, the members never change. I thought you said that at some point that... I know we talked about the 18-person group that they said they were going to keep. I'm not talking about them. But I'm saying, when you first introduced me to K-pop, I thought you said that BTS...
Are you talking about... so, in a lot of K-pop groups, they have... they'll have like a dance line.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Okay.
So yeah, a lot of groups do. They have like a dance line who are like the main dancers or who teach the dancers the choreograph.
Yeah.
There's the vocal line who do like a lot of the vocals and background ad-libs and stuff. And then there's like the rap line. Rapping and all that stuff. So yes.
So they're different. Okay. There's different categories.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like a lot of groups do that. Not all, but most.
Because if you think about our boy bands now, you don't have a vocal line, a rap line.
Oh yeah, no.
That's when I compare it, that's what I'm saying. So, but these weren't the same 7 people I saw in the BTS before. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, because even and that's where a lot of subunits come in, because they'll do like separate projects. So, like the rap line will do like a song together where they like a rap song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
And I just want to do something else real quick. I just want to talk about. So there's a thing in K-pop called biases, and so it's basically saying, it's like saying picking your favorite in a group, but they don't like to use the word favorite because it makes it seem like you're putting one above the other.
Speaking of which, but let me ask you this real quick. Sorry guys. Remember when we were looking at the people's 50
the 100 most
or 100 most
beautiful faces
yes
and handsome faces, yes.
And so we were so I remember you making a comment like, I wonder if such and such is going to be on here. Like, we saw like X person was 10, X person was 5. So I wonder how that goes over if they're a part of the same band. That
I don't know, because I think the first time, like for BTS, so BTS were several of them were on that list this past year, and then several of them were on the list the year before that.
Okay.
I think more made it on the list this year than last year. But all 7 of them have yet to be on the list together.
Okay.
I don't even think a couple of them have ever made the list. So I honestly don't know. And then at one point, not last year, but the year before, one of their members was #1. Like, he was the most handsome face in the world.
Okay.
So from, like, they mentioned it, like, they talked about it, like, different, like, shows on their social media. And, like, they kind of, like, teasing about, like, oh, yeah, he's the most handsome face. Like, I don't know if it's just because, from my view of K-pop in general, and of BTS, it's like they're so close normally.
That the jealousy aspect doesn't really...
I've never really picked up on that from a group. And I don't know if that's just because they hide it very well.
Right.
But BTS does, like, a lot of stuff. Like, they do a lot of stuff together. Like, they have shows, like, they have, like, their own little shows that they do together, and they share the same social media. So it's hard to even, like...
I was just wondering.
I've thought about the same thing, like, about other things. I wouldn't even...
Because when you start talking about biases, and then you want to call somebody favorite, that clicked in my mind.
But they each have, like, an equal amount of support.
Okay.
I don't really think that, like, yes, there's some extreme K-pop fans that are just, like, very negative, but that's with any...
Yeah, any type of fame.
For all the decent people out there, they have a fairly equal amount of support.
Okay.
I would say. But I was just going to say my bias is Jackson here. Jackson and Bam Bam. Jackson is the one that had.
Okay.
I love him. And then Bam Bam had on the striped sweater right here. So, which is funny because they have 3 foreign members. Mark right here, he was born in LA, so he's American.
Oh.
Bam Bam was born in Thailand, but so he's also fluent in English because they speak English in Thailand.
So who's the captain of the group?
Oh, leader JB.
Does he speak English too?
No, JB is right here in this leather jacket right here.
So is he the leader because of his singing ability, or?
I think he's the leader, one, because he's not the oldest, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
No, Mark is the oldest. But he was, so actually it started out as, so JB and this is Jin Young, they actually started out as just 2. They were their own little thing.
Okay.
And so the company added everybody else and they made a group. So I think he was the leader just because, one, he was one of the first ones.
Okay.
And I think he kind of just, I think it depends on, like, your leadership ability.
Or his creative skills, I think.
Yeah, because he also does
songwriting
and songwriting too.
Oh, okay.
Because in BTS, RM, he's the leader. And he's fluent in English, but he taught himself English. And so that helps when they come to American stuff.
And this group is called?
GOT7.
GOT7, okay. So what was the, well, we'll talk about those later. But they added so who is the speaker, if you will, or the one that represents when we talk about a liaison between Korea and America?
Mark, just because he was born in America. So he's fluent in English, and Bam Bam is fluent in English, and actually Jackson, my bias, is fluent in English. He was born in Hong Kong.
Okay.
English is one of
their, yeah. Right,
so,
right.
and he does, like, he has, like, his own record company in China, and he does his own, like, he has his own separate solo career in China. So he talks about that a lot too. But yeah, so they have ways to interact and communicate, just like BTS RM is their liaison. He does, like, a lot of the rap line in BTS does a lot of the songwriting and producing for their songs and stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
So on to the next. So this is from SM. Whoa. This is a girl group.
Oh goodness.
Their name is Red Velvet.
I know y'all don't write something negative because I said that. But let's keep going.
They're from SM, which is, again, like, the biggest group, or the biggest company in Korea, and
they're called
Red Velvet.
Red Velvet. Here we go.
And they're the biggest girl group under that label.
Okay.
But EXO is their biggest boy group. But we don't have time for EXO today. Sorry. But SM, they have, like, a big reputation for being perfect. Like, their groups just being perfect. Or, like, being, like, very clean cut and just, like...
Their style is white. I'm gonna say they look like.
actually born in America.
And why are all the girls singing in English?
Huh?
Well, that sound like English. Maybe I see, but how come we don't have any subtitles in this?
Because SM they don't put captions on their videos.
I think I caught a couple of like words that sound like English words.
Yeah, that's been in every song that we listened to.
Well, I know, but I just think that because I didn't see the captions, I was like, maybe they sing real fast and this is really in English. Okay.
Still current.
But I didn't see any subtitles. That's why I was wondering. Like,
I should have mentioned that. SM never put subtitles on their
oh,
videos.
okay.
She's the oldest in the group. Can you guess how old she is?
Wait a
You
minute,
have
I'm
to
trying
see
to say.
her name. Wait. I'll show it to you.
Oh, yeah, we get subtitles. Oh, okay.
These are the ones YouTube auto-generates.
Oh,
I should have
okay.
turned them off. It's her. You'll see her more in the chorus. I'll just
This her?
wait.
22, 23.
She's 30. I think she was 30 in this video. I think she's a little bit older now.
I'm gonna say this though. I'll say it after this. Unicorns are really in this year. Let me just say that.
You said what?
Unicorns.
They are. They're making a comeback.
They are making a comeback strong.
She was like 16.
Listen, I was giving her 2022 just off of
Just to be generous.
just to be real generous. Like I really meant like 14. I don't know, 15 maybe.
They actually do have an English version for this song.
Oh, do they?
They made it later on because they performed at K-Con with it.
What? Okay, first of all, initial reaction. I heard more English words in this song. Then that's what I said. And I did hear English words obviously in the other songs because I'm sure there's no translation. But for the most part, this song, I was like, it's not English. Maybe it's English and I'm just listening too hard and I want it to be Korean. So that's why I was asking about the subtitles because I was like, oh, maybe they're singing in English. But anyway. Oh gosh, I wanted to say something. I'm gonna start saying it in the middle of the video.
That's what I do. And I've had people complain about that, but I'm like, if I don't, I'm gonna forget.
I'm gonna forget because I wanted to say something and I was just like, I'll just wait. And I now can't remember what I was gonna say.
Was it about their sound?
It was about something. I was trying to compare it to something else.
I showed Danielle this a while ago. Not as a reaction, but just like when I was first getting into K-pop. Because this is one of the first female group songs that I liked because it doesn't sound like the majority of K-pop girl group songs.
It doesn't, because it gave me a Destiny's Child.
And that's what Danielle said. Danielle said, this is very 90s R&B girl group.
Yes, this is definitely Destiny's Child. I think that's the first thing I thought about. I was like, look at Beyonce right here.
Beyonce would be proud.
She would be
Beyonce would be proud.
She would. I can't remember what I was gonna say, but it's okay. I mean, like I told you before, I mean, my thoughts have not, views haven't changed. I think I still like the boy bands better.
Okay.
I'm not a fan.
This was just one of my first. This is what kind of introduced me to girl groups because the ones that I had heard before that, I had automatically kind of just like shut down just because they sounded so girly and like bubblegum pop-ish.
Right.
And this one didn't sound like. I was like, oh. Yeah. So they do this too, huh? Okay. Yeah. And so this is kind of what slowly segued me into other girl group songs.
Yeah. Sorry guys. Not the biggest fan of the girl groups. And obviously I'm all about girl power. Yeah. Ooh, your thing. but it's just not one of mine. But then I don't, to be quite honest with you, I'll say this, to be fair, I'm not sure if I'm a girl group fan. I am a big supporter of a lot of obviously female solo artists, but I don't know if girl groups are my niche. So,
Okay. That's
like,
legit.
I mean, I know Destiny's Child, and I know them just because I know them in the songs and because they, have a lot of radio play. But if you were to say Danity Kane and the rest of these girl groups out here, the Spice Girls, what songs they say? Well, I don't know. I ain't really listening
I
to
will
them.
admit, the Spice Girls, like, people talk about, like, how just, like, legendary they are, and I'm not doubting that they are. But the only Spice Girl song that I listen to is, what's the, if you want to be my lover,
Exactly.
you gotta get with my friends.
Right.
Yeah, that's the only Spice Girl song I know and that I will listen to.
Exactly.
Like,
and I think you just have to have, it's just like anything. It's just your preference, you know?
And it's not saying like, oh my gosh, I hate them, or they're just, I don't like them.
Exactly.
It's just like, they're just not mine.
They're just not my cup of tea. Sorry, guys.
But yeah, I mean, I've just kind of grown into girl groups, but even so, the majority of the songs that I have downloaded are boy groups.
Yes. Now, give me a good girl solo. Are there any girl solo art? Maybe that's the next.
That'll be our next one. That is actually something that I want,
Okay.
that they wanted me to do. It's like K-pop female solo
Female
artists.
solo artists,
But
yeah.
I had it so hard curating like the playlist for each of these videos. Like, there's so many songs that I want them to listen to, and then they suggested songs. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so hard.
Well, I think to combat that, you take the most popular, obviously.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I
And
did.
then kind of go down.
So these are kind of a mixture of like the most popular and like kind of like my faves.
And then
also,
finding that diamond in the rough, like.
and then also kind of like trying to take in your like the hip hop and stuff. That was like the first half.
Oh yeah, that's for me. So guys, the next set that we do, I'm pretty sure.
No, I want to go ahead and say this now. The next video that either me and you do, or me, you, and Danielle do, will be K-pop or Korean female solo artists, because that is something that I do want to talk about and include.
That's what we'll do.
But this is Ikon, and the song's called Love Scenario, and we'll just listen to it.
Okay.
And then we'll just talk about it after. Okay. Oh shoot, I'm tripping because I did not turn the volume back up.
Guys, we're gonna let you hear it too. We're not just gonna listen to it.
Yeah, no, that was not the plan.
Okay.
Again.
사랑을 했다 우리가 만나 지우지 못할 추억이 됐다 볼만한 멜로드라마 괜찮은 결말 그거면 됐다 널 사랑했다 우리가 만든 love scenario 이젠 조명이 꺼지고 마지막 페이지를 넘기면 조용히
This is Bobby. He was born in Virginia. Or either he was born in New York and raised in Virginia.
Okay. But he speaks Korean and.
His name is B.I. He's the leader. Oh my gosh. You just gonna interrupt our video? Oh, I was saying, his name is B.I. He's the leader.
Okay. Was he? So he's Korean. He's born in Korea.
He's like a rapper, but he's also the main songwriter. Okay. So I want to say I picked this song for a couple reasons.
Okay.
One, I really like Ikon. They have two of my favorite rappers that are in a K-pop group.
Okay.
And also this song became like, this song took over Korea. Like I don't know what, like it just, they say they don't know why it took over, like they don't know why it became so popular, but like it became like, apparently it was voted children's favorite song of the year or something like that.
I can see
and
it.
like they show videos like all these little kids choirs singing the song, and so I don't know, I like it. And yeah.
So I was actually getting ready to say, it's funny you said that because my first reaction was, it reminds me of a choir. It reminds me of a choir. And to my point, actually not to my point, to kind of contradict what I said, this is one of the few K-pop groups that I could probably distinguish between the rest of the songs that I've heard. So guys, y'all did it. There's actually a song out there that I can say, oh, I know that's Ikon. That's Ikon. Now I might not know the name of the song. Don't get me right. But I would be able to distinguish between this group and the rest of the groups that we heard.
And I think, and I just thought this, like, while you were saying that, the reason you might feel that way, though, might be my fault. Because I think I always show you K-pop songs or groups that have the same sound, have more of a hip-hop sound.
Oh.
And that I think you might like more.
Okay.
So which is what I purposely did the first half.
Right.
With the songs I chose.
Yeah.
I chose more hip-hop based or hip-hop heavy songs. So that might actually be my fault, because I have not yet shown you like a popular K-pop boy group song.
Yeah, because when I listened to that, I said, oh.
And I just thought about it, I was like, that, I mean, I get where you're coming from. But I think that is like, if I sat down and I showed you like, even if we just did one group, let's just say I showed you BTS and I showed you like a collection of some of their songs, I feel like you would feel differently.
Okay.
If I showed you like some other popular K-pop boy group songs, you would feel differently. So I think that's partially my fault, guys. So don't take offense. I think I did this to her. Because in my mind, because I wanted you to like actually...
Yeah. No, I understand
like
why.
Accept it.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, let me try to pick songs that I know like have like a hip hop sound to it.
So to your credit, I think that introducing me to the hip hop part first is very important. It's like anything else that you try to get me to listen to, essentially. Because
you gotta like ease her into it.
You gotta
You can't just, she can't jump in.
Because I'll be honest, and a lot of you all are gonna be like, oh my god, your mom is so whack, and it's okay. I'm old, guys. It's fine. But like, you introduced me 8, 9, well not 8, 9, but I'll say, what's this, 2019? Probably 6 years ago for me even to start listening to Bruno Mars, if you will. You remember, so before it was just me listening to straight black and white hip hop, like hip hop rap. That's it. Hip hop rap, R&B, of course. But like my breakthrough or my my what do they call it? Segue into pop, if you will, was kind of started with Bruno Mars, and then you put Sam Smith in there, then Maroon 5 in there. So then I was like, oh, there's a whole nother world.
A whole new world. Don't you dare close your eyes.
I was, but that's what baby steps into it. So, i.e., the fact that you introduced me to a lot of the the hip hop part of K-pop made sense. Yeah. So let me say that.
So, and I was just thinking about that. I was like, that's why, Lauren. Because I was just thinking about other songs. I was like, wait, but they have a lot of songs like that. So that's why. So next time, I'll make sure to pick some more poppy songs, and you can see like the diversity.
Well, this was fun.
There was something else I wanted to say real quick, but I forgot what it was. Oh, I was gonna say there is like, I actually do have a playlist on my phone that I made, but there is like a lot of K-R&B and strictly K-R&B, strictly K-hip-hop artists, which makes sense, right? Which are not very mainstream, still very much, pretty much underground, but popular. They have fan bases and stuff. So that's another thing that I want to get y'all into later on down the road. But yeah,
this was fun.
So that's it. It took a little bit longer than I planned.
It's okay.
But I'm gonna edit it down. It's not gonna be this long.
It's not gonna be this long.
And yeah, that's it.
I have fun. Well, thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, of course.
She's the best.
I don't know about that, but anyway.
She's the best.
Well, I can't wait for our next session.
Okay. I don't know when that'll be, but it'll be eventually.
It'll be soon, guys. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right. Peace out, guys. Bye.
Hey guys, don't forget to like this video, leave some comments, and subscribe to my channel.